So as employers start to implement these changes with the Fair Labor Standards Act, one area that they do need to look at is benefits, and specifically what benefits exempt employees have versus non-exempt employees. So one area where I see employers having different benefits for exempt versus non is in the area of time off. Benefits like retirement plans and health insurance plans, those tend to be pretty standard regardless of the classification of the employee. But time off is one area that you might want to look at more closely. And the reason for that is because some employers, for instance, have no limit on the number of sick days an exempt employee could take. But they do have a limit, for instance, on what non-exempt employees can take. So that would be a big change for an exempt employee to go to non-exempt and have the sick time potentially limited. But the other thing you have to watch out for as you're changing employees from exempt to non-exempt is if you're giving them that sick time now, they could potentially look at that like extra vacation time and go ahead and take that time as sick/personal, whereas before when they were exempt, they may not have taken quite as many days as when they're non-exempt. Another area where I sometimes see some differences are with vacation time. Employers occasionally will give more vacation time to an exempt employee versus non-exempt, so that's something employers will have to watch out for and figure out how they're going to handle that. Some other areas that could potentially be impacted include things like referral bonuses, reimbursement for travel expenses, and now that we're talking about travel, we should also bring up the fact that if you make someone non-exempt and they're traveling, you really need to watch how you're paying them, so that could potentially be a big change and something that an employer would have to budget for also. If you've got people who are exempt now who do a lot of traveling, it could potentially impact your budget quite a bit if you make them non-exempt. And then some other things as well. I think I mentioned referral bonuses before, and just general expenses that employees might have, things like reimbursement of professional fees or membership in professional associations. Those are all things that employers need to think about too before making changes to an employee's exemption status.